Ski Studios in the house. Only a wife of mine is a life of crime. You know what I mean? That's how I used to think, man. Straight up. Love rap music. You know what I mean? Rap music is like the ish. You know what I mean? But overall, what did it do? It just like brought me to a place of like hurting people, doing negative stuff to people, and most of the harm came to me. You know what I mean? Drugs. Started off with the drugs, and it went to crime, and just brought me to a place, man, that I just never thought I'd go. And after all this, man, I'm like just coming out of it now. You know what I mean? I was, because I'm coming pretty close to getting a year clean and sober, and I was like thinking about it like the other day, and I was just thinking back to like where I was a year ago, and like you listen to my channel, you know I say a lot of this stuff sometimes, but I was just praying every day, man, for God to like, please, like if you're real, man, just give me the strength, man, to get off of this stuff, you know. And it took me months, and eventually one day he came to me, and boom, here I am. You know what I mean? A little over 10 months now, and I am not even close to giving up, man. Like I'm staying, I'm sticking and staying, kid. You know what I mean? And it this kind of branches off into something like, at work, I don't know, I complain about my job a little bit. It ain't terrible, but it's just some of the people. And I was talking to somebody at work one day, and someone was saying about how, God ain't real and this and that. And I listen to my headphones, but I take my headphones off and I start having a discussion with them. It wasn't like a heated argument or nothing. It was just, I'm proving my point on why I think God's real and things that everybody can identify with. You know what I mean? And this one kid's like, oh, that shouldn't be talked about in here. Oh, so somebody can talk negatively about God, but if I stick up for my point, nobody's allowed to talk about it. It's like that is like exactly how the world is right now. You know what I mean? Like if you try to sit there and you try to talk about, you're a Christian, or, people that are men, men being tough, you know what I mean? Female and men is different things. You know what I mean? Like I always say, man, you could do whatever you want to do, especially if you're an adult. You could do whatever you want to do. But if you think that I'm going to sit here and say that, a man and a woman is nothing but all in your head, you know what I mean? Like, that's ridiculous. So, it is what it is. But, you know what I mean? Why have a Women's Day then? You know what I mean? Why stand up for women's rights and this and that? Because theoretically, right, we're the same exact thing. Why, I don't know. But, I'm kind of getting off track. But, well, no, because you know what? You're not allowed to talk about that. Just like that the vaccine thing. If you talk about any other point except for it's great for you, it's going to save your life, then you're canceled, or you're not played on the news. When Joe Rogan was saying how he beat COVID without it, what happened? They took his picture and they changed it, and they made his skin look yellow and made him look wicked sickly, And I was talking to somebody at my job earlier today, and they were saying like, I've had COVID multiple times, and they got it. They got the vaccine. And, this isn't like 100% true, but I might have had COVID twice, but when I had it, it wasn't that bad at all. You know what I mean? I had a very bad headache for like a day. But the people that seem to be getting really, really sick, they got the cure. You know what I mean? They got the supposed cure. And it's just like anytime there is something that you're not allowed to question, I have to say they're pushing an agenda on that. I know I'm going like down this political realm. Hey, what can I say, man? I haven't been on here for a little bit, man, and I'm trying to, do something. I've been down a little bit, but I'm just trying to get through, get through to another day. But think about it. Whenever you're not allowed to question something, there is something wrong with that, And like I always tell you guys, I'm not 100% with Trump on every single thing, and he pushed the vaccine too. You know what I mean? Like people always be like, oh, I'm with Trump on everything, and then I bring the vaccine up, and you know what happens? Quiet as a church mouse. They got nothing to say because he pushed the same crap, man. I don't know. I think he believed him too. Where's Fauci now? By sitting back counting his money. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. But anyways, when I think back of me, I jump around. You know what I mean? My mind. Hey, I'm ADHD. What do you want from me? But I go back to like back in the day, man. Like when I was first starting off my whole addiction thing. Me and my buddy. He said I could use his name, but nobody's really gonna know unless you know me. But my buddy John, we used to every day before school we would go like behind the shed and we go and smoke cigarettes and I don't know, dude. We would friggin' get, I don't know. We'd take whatever we were gonna take, whether it was weed, alcohol, sometimes LSD, a bunch of stuff. One morning, we went with, I don't know. I feel like we were in a shed or something, right? And we were sniffing something, right? And he's like, oh, I got some pills, da da da. And he crushes them up and he adds another pill. He's like, oh, I'm going to add this one in, right? We sniffed it. I am not joking. My eye was watering. My eyes were all watering all day long. It burned. And you know what it was? Paxil. Thanks, John. I don't know if you're going to watch this, but thanks, bro. Because that thing sucked, dude. I couldn't see out of my eye, like, barely all day, man. I used to, dude, I used to get up in the morning, and one day I did LSD, and I went to school. And, I think it was about third period. And I went to a technical high school, and back then we even had cameras. And I was, like, hiding out by the buses, because that was, like, the only place that didn't have cameras, and I was, like, smoking cigarettes and shit. I used to, like, even my friends, like, from school, I used to hide the fact that I smoked cigarettes, and I just hid all day. Dude, it was too much to even go to class, like, because I was, like, kind of freaking out, and like, anybody that's ever done that, when you're, like, with people that you do it with, and then, like, you're by yourself, like, you just feel abandoned, and it just, I don't know, it's like this feeling of abandonment. You want to get back. And all my friends went to Haverhill High, and I was like the only, like out of those my party friends, and so like the friends I had from like the tech, they're all like straight edge people. So it was like, I just didn't fit. Like it was terrible. And like there was no way to even really get out of that school because it was like a long road to get out. You had to go by a security booth. You could have went back through the woods, but it was, dude, and it was on the outskirts of Haverhill. Haverhill's actually pretty big. It's bigger than Boston. You know what I mean? And to get back to like the main part, it's just so far, dude. You know what I mean? And I was on foot, obviously. Back then there was no Uber. I had a cell phone, but it wasn't like most people didn't even have cell phones back then. I was dating this girl once, right? And she had a kid, and it was I know I branch off everywhere, and she had a picture, and it was her like talking on the phone, and her daughter's like, man, why is that cord so long to that phone? Because she never seen phones with cords on them. I'm like, man, I'm old. There's a kid at work today too, man, and he wasn't even born for 9/11. You know what I mean? I think he's like 20 or 21. Wasn't even around for 9/11. It's like I was in high school, man. I know I'm going everywhere, But what am I going to say? I haven't really been doing this in a little bit. I figured I'd put something on. I did a little freestyle short, so you guys could check that out. That might be a little bit funnier than this one, Know what I mean? I went on a podcast the other day. It's this kid, B. Luke, from Boston and Cambridge, and I'll tell you, I've been battling a depression, so I went there, to just, tell my story, but I ain't happy with it at all because there was no clock, and at the end, like I talked about the beginning of my life, and at the end, I kind of thought I was running out of time, and he's like, "Oh, so how'd you do clean?" And I was just like, "Oh, meetings, church, and I'm not happy with it." I should have explained more, but he hasn't even posted it yet. Who knows if he's even gonna? Maybe it was just so bad he ain't gonna put it out. But it was just, I don't know. I don't think I'm happy with it. I don't know, when he posts it, I'll see how it comes out, but I'm just not. I don't think I'm happy with it. I was kind of in a depression and kind of in a little funk. You know, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know. You guys, man. I just kind of like, bro. I tell you guys like, my real feelings, my mind and shit. But man, they say it takes, like, I've heard, like, in AANA and all that, they say, like, it takes you 5 years to get your marbles back, which basically means, like, your brain starts working better. And I ain't even hit 1 year yet. I got a couple months. I got less than 2 months and I hit a year. Woo! But, I'm close to getting my license back. I got a decent amount saved up. I got more than enough for a car, the fines and everything. So that should be coming up soon. Hey, you guys have any ideas, man, for me to come up with a company? I don't know. I got a buddy I got my buddy. I don't know if he wants his name on here. So he's starting a landscaping thing. He said something about, he would do it with me. But he kind of already started it. And I don't know if he's just going to let me jump in, like, in the middle. But I know he would definitely at least have me work from here and there so I could do, like, some side jobs and stuff. Because once I get my license and car and stuff, I'm going to need to try to make as much money as I can, because it's going to be a lot of money for that. But you guys have any ideas, man, for me to come up with a good company? I still like my sober house idea, you know what I mean? And if I did that too, if I ended up starting another company, well, that's not really a company. That's kind of, and I'd be helping people. I think I'd do like a little Christian, not a little Christian, like a Christian vibe to it, because I know how much Jesus helped me. So, and it, like, people sit there and, like, that's why, like, too, like, I tell some of my real stories from out there, because people sit there and they see people and they're like, oh, he's been clean and he wasn't really out there. Bro, I was out there doing the stuff. I didn't go to prison like a lot of people. I deserved it. I definitely deserved it. And, because sometimes, like, man, maybe it would have been better if I went to prison, because of the fact that I would have missed this whole, opiate thing, because I would have been in prison. I wouldn't have got stabbed like that. But you know what? All that stuff is what it took for me to come back, because I had to get broken down, like, to the point, And that's when I say, too, like, about God. I say, like, oh, God, why wasn't God stopping me from using when I was praying forever? Well, for a while, why didn't he stop? Because maybe he knew that I had to get broken down that much to break my spirit that much, to the point that I'll do anything to stay clean. Because I've said that before. When I hear people say, oh, I'll do anything to stay clean, I think, like, honestly, like, in my mind, I'm like, what a dumb person. I was going to say something, but it just wouldn't have been right. Like that person is just pathetic. They're just, and I'm, like, down in them. Like, that's what my mind says. That's what I think, because it's me. And in reality, bro, they're doing way better than me. And I used to be like, people be like, oh, my worst day clean ain't as good as, ain't as bad as my best day using. I used to be like, dude, my worst day using wasn't as, was way better than my best day clean, But the thing is that you have to get to a point, and even your worst day clean, you're at least working towards a goal. You know what I mean? Like, you're at least working towards a goal. When you're out there using, every single day you're out there using, you're wasting your life. You know what I mean? You're not getting to where you're going to be. You actually are more happier and stuff clean, And I know right now, like, every day ain't awesome, but I'm still working to get my stuff back, man. I'm not driving yet. I don't know what I'm going to exactly do for work. Like, I have a job now. I make all right money. It's not crazy money, but it's not terrible money. You know what I mean? I'm definitely not the lowest person paid out there, but I'm nowhere near, like, middle range of people my age, they say you should have multiple streams of income. And right now, man, I'm just working my ass off to get to where I gotta go. But I just have faith that, I pray every day about my calling. What is my calling going to be? But I just pray, and I'm just like, maybe God just needs me to get through some more stuff to get to where I got to go, you know? And to prove to him, or not even prove to him, he already knows, but prove to myself that I'm willing to do whatever it takes to be successful in life. And honestly, like, money ain't everything for me, man. It's more happiness with me, you know? And my buddy told me, like, I'm like, yeah, I want to make up for some of the stuff I did. And he's like, God, don't take like notes like, oh, you did this much wrong, you got to make up. Yeah, but just for me, my spirit and everything, to help other people makes me feel better, you know? I don't know, you know, and I don't know, man. Like, you know, and I do, and the reason like I said, man, the reason I tell some of these stories is because I want to show people that I, you know, what I came from, what I did out there, you know what I mean? Like, I've used weapons on people, you know, you know, I always say, like, oh, like, even especially at the beginning, when I got clean, I was like, yo, I didn't steal. I didn't steal from my friends and my family, but I stole, you know, whether it was stores, you know. It's hard to even admit that, because I'm, like, that is one thing I'm embarrassed about, is stealing, you know. Not really the stores, but people, you know. This is the truth, man. Like, one day I was with my friends, and, it started off where a kid that ripped me off, you know, he wasn't answering the phone, and he hit me up one day and wanted a couple balls. So I told him I'd get him. This is just the beginning, you know, so I'm not going through that whole story. But I ended up taking the money, and I kept the money that he stole from me, but there was more than he took. It was like $150, and the two balls I told him were $300. So I took the $150 for me, and the other $150 I split upon the people in my car, and we ended up getting a ball. And actually, like a quarter, but we ended up doing it all night. And the next day, we were still up, you know, and we're having that anxiety feeling, and we ended up going and we seen this generator, right? It was a nice-ass generator. And we ended up going to Taylor Rental and renting bolt cutters, and went back out there and cut the lock off, brought it to the friggin' pawn shop. We bring it there, right? And the guy's like, this thing's nice. He's like, does it work? We all just look at each other, because we never even tried to start it. And we were trying to start. He's like, no, you got to turn this. He knew that we took that. He's like, he does a switch. Boom, starts up one pull. And he's like, man, I'll have this on the truck tonight. Like, and he gave us, like, I think $180. And I think it was probably worth like $600-700. It was a big one. And like, that's the type of person I was, man. And I didn't care, dude. I thought it was great, you know? Like, all the stuff I did out there, like, I thought was great. You know, and that was like a big thing on me changing too, is to admit that everything that I was doing, like, you know, oh, I beat this person, I stuck this person, I robbed this person, and like, that type of stuff, like, made me feel good, especially when I'm among other people that are like that, because I feel like, yo, I did more stuff than most of these people. And like, now it's like to have to realize that everything I was working towards was just terrible. It just made me a terrible person. And it takes a lot, like, in your brain to actually swallow that, like, yo, you're a loser, man. You were a straight loser. You know, maybe I ain't a loser person, but I was having loser ways. You know what I mean? Like, come on. You know, that's some scumbag stuff. I was a scumbag person. And I always say it, but you know what I mean? I know I'm not that now, but I made a lot of bad decisions. I hurt a lot of people, you know? And my family I hurt, you know? So to come to terms with all that stuff, it's hard, man. You know? Like, I admit this stuff to you guys. It's crazy because I, like, admit more stuff to you guys than, like, I do to most of my friends, you know? My close friends know, you know, the truth anyways, you know? And that's why, like, dude, I got a sponsor and stuff, and it's just not, I don't know, like, he's cool. Like, I'm straight up cool with him, but I just, like, our times don't line up. It's hard. So it's like, that's why I didn't want to get one at the beginning, because I was like, now I'm going to have to fire him and get a new one, you know, unless something changes, but I just don't see it happen. Every time I call him, he's just not available, and he calls me back, but by that point, you know, I don't know. I'm just kind of saying some stuff, man. I know I'm saying like no crazy fun one, but I'm just trying to at least put something out, you know. But it's the truth, man. It's kind of like a video fucking blog. I didn't want to swear. You know, hey, I've been cutting back on the swearing, man. But I don't know. I figured I'd just do something for you guys, throw you guys a little bone, you know, a little bit. You know, you can nibble on this, you know. Don't crack your tooth. You know what I mean? I might have burnt it. You know. I don't know, man. I hope all you guys have a great day. God bless you all. Be safe. Love, peace, chicken grease.